everyone. Welcome to Engaged Citizens of Columbia County. Welcome. I'm your host, Sherry Ryan. And today I am joined with Austin Zimbrick, who is the candidate for Columbia River Fire and Rescue Board, Position 1. Welcome, Austin.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and putting yourself out and just informing us about who you are and some of your vision and just mission of why you're doing this. So thank you so much. And so can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. So, like I said, my name is Austin Zimbrick. I've grown up in this community. My great grandpa owned a dairy farm out on Bennett Road, and then on my other side, my grandparents used to own the dealership out on the highway and sold that
Nice.
30 some years ago. I'm married, live out in Yankton. I've been a firefighter now for professionally just over 5 years, and then I was a student intern before that for about 5 years as well. So I'm going on about 10 years in the fire service.
Okay. So, and you were telling me you're fourth generation Columbia County resident.
Yeah,
That's
my great grandpa had
awesome.
the dairy farm off of Bennett there, so
Yeah. Oh my
it's been there a
goodness.
little while.
Very cool. Very cool. So Austin, when it comes down to it, when you ask people, like, what is your why? What is motivating you? Why do you want to run for this board?
Yeah, I decided to run after kind of hearing exactly what was going on before all the litigation or lawsuits came out. But I kind of heard all the firefighters over there were planning on testing out and applying other places. I kind of
Hmm.
saw what was going to happen if those guys ended up testing out. I know they don't have the staffing basically. If some of those guys took jobs elsewhere, we'd be in trouble in terms of
Yeah.
running calls, filling stations. They're already struggling to fill stations. So I just kind of saw that if we can fix this district up before those people end up leaving, I thought it was something that needed to happen.
And so you feel like with your experience, you're like, you know what, I want to get in there and I want to help fix this, make
It
this
was
better.
exactly that. I know the
Yeah.
good guys. I know the people that really care about the job and they don't necessarily want to leave. But right now
Hmm.
they're being handcuffed by the administration and the board,
Hmm.
unfortunately. I hate to say it, but they're kind of
Yeah.
being forced out in a way.
It's hard to see, it's hard to
Yeah,
see. I mean, we can't see 100% exactly of the facts and truth about certain things, right? But what we do see is what is being put out as evidence of what is
yeah,
going on, right?
yeah.
And
So
so,
I lived there for a little while. So I would work there for a couple of years. And
mhm,
it's definitely rough. And I know a lot of those guys
mhm,
there really care about this community. They have kids going through the school system here, the coaches
yeah,
for sports, all that kind of thing. So these people don't want to leave. It's
yeah, totally.
um,
Oh my goodness. Well, can you tell us, from your perspective and just, what you see is what does a board member do then?
absolutely. So the boards there, their main job is they're basically one employee is the chief. So right now it's Fire Chief Medina. So their job is the budget. They're also the middleman between him and the community. So they're supposed to get the ideas, hold him accountable, let the citizens know what's going on when they can. So
Hmm.
that's kind of their job is managing the district's budget. So
Hmm.
generally the chief will write the budget up and they're the ones approving it. There's also a budget committee that helps out with that. And then, like I said,
Nice.
they're part of the accountability for the district. So making sure everything's running smoothly, making sure that people are being held accountable for their actions, their policies, that kind of thing.
So like there's a budget committee that is
Yeah,
separate
yeah.
that do they
Um,
like present to the board or such? Is that how that works? Do you know?
Generally, the budget committee is like another group of people. It's usually like five citizens or so, and it'll be CPAs or accountants, people from the district, and they kind of help come up with a budget, and then the board's the one at the end that approves the budget.
Okay. 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 What makes you the person that we should vote for? What makes you the most qualified and who we should vote for?
So, like I said, I'm in the fire service currently. I kind of know what the
Mhm.
current atmosphere is. I've basically worked around the county at this point in time, so I know pretty much how the county runs and what makes it run smoothly. I live this
Mhm.
job. I do it every day, or when I'm on shift.
Mhm.
I feel like though I don't run a business like some of the other people,
Mhm.
my financial basis is very much a common sense one. So I don't like debt. I don't have any debt besides my house. I
Mhm.
don't believe in car loans. I don't believe in that kind of thing. So I think
Mhm.
like every day I just have an emergency fund that I keep in my bank. I don't touch it. And I think the fire
Yeah.
district should be ran kind of like that, where it's, hey, you got money that you set aside where if something happens, that rainy day fund, you've got it. And then you shouldn't be spending money that you don't have. And you also shouldn't be going and borrowing money to pay your employees, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Just being fiscally responsible,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? And you're like, you know what? I may not own a business, but what you're talking about is very good practices to have, personally, and then to roll that over into a business also.
Yeah.
And the Columbia River Fire and Rescue is a business.
Yeah.
And we want to be profitable, and we want to be able to pay our firefighters and our all the rest of the staff well. And so having good, stewardship is definitely important.
Yeah. I mean, it's your and I tax dollars that go to this place that fund it. They
Mhm.
do get a little bit of money from the ambulance service that they're running, but most of
Okay.
it's our tax money. So using that in a financially steady way, not
Hmm.
over budgeting, not overspending, having someone that understands the budget, I think is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how that should look and how it should be ran.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, for sure. What are some things that you see that the Columbia River Fire and Rescue is doing well, the board, what the board has done well, what they, something that you may see that you might, be like, wow, that's really cool that they've done that. And then what is something that, going forward, if you were elected, May 16th, that you would come in and you would be like, I really want to help improve this. And how would that look?
Yeah. So I can't speak recently what they've done well. I will say when I was there before things fell apart with the relationship between the board and the employees, they did a good job of communicating. I felt like before, and we could have meetings with them, and I'd say that was great. Like you, they skyped into some of our union meetings while I was there, and they talked to us, and having that clear line of communication between everybody, I think was awesome.
Mm.
I think CRFR in a whole, like I said, the firefighters there really care about this community. Those guys train, they're great at their job, they're great at fighting fires, they're great at EMS, and they do well to take care of each other. And then things that I think the board could be doing better is something that I would really enjoy doing is, like I said, I interned for a while, and I would like to bring the community more. So going into the high schools, sending CRFR into the high schools to try and pull students out that maybe this job would be right for them, creating programs like that, cadet programs are kind of what it's called, and creating possibly jobs for our youth to come into this service. Because right now we're hurting for people. Our paramedic programs are way down. Trying to hire, it used to be hundreds on the list, and now we're getting 3, 4 applicants. So if we can
Wow.
pull people from inside of this community to come and train the future, I think that'd be huge.
Yeah. Do you feel like the firefighters that are on staff right now in our communities, do you feel like and do you see that they're mostly from our community, or are they pulled from other districts?
I would say you got a good share of the middle there. A
Okay.
lot of us, like I said, there's a lot of them that are from this community, and then you got a few that have been in this community. Maybe they now live somewhere else, but they still
Yeah.
are
They're
from this
here.
community. And you do get some that maybe never were from here, but tested over here now are employees here and have moved their families here. So I'd say
Mm.
there's a good mix of it.
Okay. Just something that, like, whenever you said about going to the high schools and talking
Yeah,
to kids, it's just like talking how they have the military come in or different job
yeah,
fairs and such. That would be great to have more of that, because being a firefighter and EMS and amazing careers, and
it
just
was,
such a great thing to do for a community, right?
yeah. I think it'd be a
Yeah,
great
for
job. I
sure.
think we could do a better job in general, the whole fire service of trying to bring in and let people know this job's out here. Because I know
Yeah.
growing up, I was always told how hard it is to get a job, and but no
Mm,
one really explained what it took. And I think we could
yeah,
do a
yeah.
great job, especially in this community. We're not a big community,
Yeah.
so if we could pull people from inside and get good jobs for people, I think that'd be a good thing in general.
Yeah, because how did you become a firefighter? You said that where did you train or what was that?
So I out of high school, I actually went to Pacific University for just a year.
Okay.
Went up there. I was going to study kinesiology, so
Mm,
exercise science. Went there for a year and decided it wasn't for me, and then
hmm.
ended up going to PCC. But then I started with Scappoose Fire as an intern, and so
Okay.
I worked full time for them. And instead of basically getting a wage, they paid for my schooling. So I
Nice.
finished my paramedic degree with no student loans, anything like that, and then got a
Nice.
job a week after I got my paramedic. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
You know, that's a
it's a
great
great,
career path.
it is exactly.
Yeah,
So
without debt, having your schooling paid for. I mean, that's a lot of reasons why, people go into trades. This is like,
yeah,
that and, going to the military or such and having your schooling paid for and such. So,
yeah,
really cool. Thank you for sharing that because I know that a lot of young people, are, thinking, what do I want to do? And I would love to see like I was just telling somebody at work the other day, I was like, yeah, I remember when the fire department came to our school when I was like 7 years old and they came in and taught us to stop, drop, and roll,
yeah, yeah. We still get
you
out
know?
there, but not as much as I
Yeah.
would do.
And so it would be cool to see like more of that, like in the high schools of, training, like this is what it takes and this is what a path looks like to become a firefighter and how you can be debt free and
Yeah,
have a
exactly. I
career,
think it
right?
could work out really well for a lot of people. So
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I really appreciate all that info
of
and to
course.
share with our community. So, if you were elected, how would you envision yourself, communicating and hearing from, constituents? And what does that look like? What is your thoughts and just kind of your opinion and philosophy on that?
Of course. I mean, I wouldn't mind if somebody stopped me on the street and if they had a question on the fire service or what the district's doing.
Yeah.
I'd open up an email. That way, people could always email me. I've got a Facebook if they message me. I
Hmm.
put my phone number out there. I want people to understand how the fire districts work because I feel like a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of misconceptions. We're different than Multnomah County. We run
Okay.
ambulances out of this county. We're not like the typical agencies. Where like I said, the Columbia County is kind of different. CRFR's how we run as a county is different, and then exactly like CRFR, Scappoose Fire, Clascanine Fire, they all run very similarly.
Mm,
So, like I
okay.
said, I want people to understand that, and if they have to come ask me questions anyway, that they feel they can ask me a question.
Yeah, that's
Into it.
great. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be posting like your contact info for
Yeah,
people to reach you now. And so
that's
while you're campaigning and running. And so thank you so much, Austin. And I hope to talk to you again soon. And good luck with your race.
awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Bye bye.